tearing through the skies to explosions shaking the ground. These aren't just shocking moments. This is where chaos becomes unstoppable. Fire, fury, and the unexpected all collide right here. Welcome to LumberPro channel. The Toyota Prado caught fire after the accident, severely damaged and billowing thick smoke. Panic and screams filled the air as bystanders looked on in fear.
I sit. Land Cruiser Prado. I sit. Come on.
Flames are raging fiercely, thick smoke swirling into the air. Two brave firefighters rush to the scene, struggling to contain the blaze before it grows furious and devours everything in its path. A fuel truck exploded on the M11 highway in Kalininsky district. Flames surged violently as thick black smoke filled the sky. A blinding flash of fire erupted fiercely, followed by a towering plume of thick gray smoke spiraling straight into the sky, spreading rapidly like a raging storm, swallowing the entire night sky whole. Debris scattered wildly, flashing lights flickering like lightning in the darkness, creating a scene both hauntingly beautiful and terrifying. The roar of the explosion echoed relentlessly in their ears, making hearts race, while the atmosphere thickened with tension and dread. A building in Poznan, Poland, erupted into flames after a massive explosion in the basement. The fire spread rapidly, engulfing the structure in a terrifying blaze. Thick black smoke poured into the sky, covering the neighborhood in a dark, suffocating haze. The scene quickly turned chaotic as numerous fire trucks and police vehicles arrived on site, racing to contain the fire and evacuate residents amid growing panic and confusion. Large explosions followed the Israeli airstrike targeting the Houthis. A massive bolt of lightning struck the Makkah clock tower, creating a breathtaking and terrifying spectacle. Blinding streaks tore through the night sky like fiery blades, followed by thunder that rumbled and echoed for seconds, as if the heavens themselves were roaring. The city held its breath, gripped by the sheer force of nature's fury. A massive fire has broken out at a storage yard and is spreading at an alarming rate. The fierce flames are devouring everything in their path, swallowing the entire site within moments. Thick black smoke billows into the sky, cloaking the area in a choking haze. Against the darkness of night, the intense red glow of the fire casts a terrifying, haunting scene, like a nightmare unfolding in real life. The flames flared up more fiercely than ever, engulfing everything in their path. Thick, dense black smoke billowed high into the sky, spreading across the area and creating a terrifying scene that sent chills down everyone's spine. This is the devastating aftermath of successive explosions, with flames rapidly spreading and consuming everything in their path. Thick black smoke blankets the area, creating a scene of utter destruction. The wailing sirens echo ceaselessly, signaling chaos and total devastation at the site. Lightning struck two moving cars on the road, producing a terrifying explosion, with brilliant flashes tearing through the darkened sky. The explosion erupted moments after the man left the scene, a narrow escape from personal disaster. The powerful blast completely demolished the public laundry facility, leaving behind rubble and ashes, shaking the surrounding area. The terrifying explosion shattered everything in an instant. The powerful blast force hurled debris high into the air, filling the sky with thick dust and smoke. The damage is extensive and still unaccounted for, leaving behind a scene of devastation and chaos. A massive blaze erupts, sending thick black smoke billowing high into the sky, blanketing the entire area. In mere moments, everything nearby is consumed by the monstrous inferno, a terrifying force of destruction that devours everything in its path without mercy. The flames gradually spread from the core, scorching every fiber, turning the ancient tree into a living torch, growling fiercely in the dark night. A massive explosion suddenly occurred on the banks of the Ganges River in Nahadi, shaking the entire area. The thunderous blast shattered the river's calm, with flames and thick smoke rising violently into the air, sending nearby residents fleeing in fear. The scene turned chaotic, and the cause of the explosion is still under investigation. A devastating explosion rocked an oil refining plant, causing significant damage and shaking the surrounding area. Firefighters are urgently working to contain the fierce blaze, but the flames continue to rage uncontrollably, spreading at an alarming rate. Thick, black smoke blankets the sky, obscuring visibility and creating a chaotic scene that hampers rescue efforts. Residents nearby remain fearful as the destructive fire shows no sign of being brought under control. Thick plumes of smoke rise relentlessly from the heart of the fire, rolling like ghostly white waves that stretch across the sky. The air grows heavy. Visibility fades as the dense smoke blots out the sunlight. The scene is blanketed in tension and dread, a haunting reminder of the fire's destructive power. Even as the fire subsides, faint flashes continue to erupt from within, small, crackling bursts like leftover fireworks in the aftermath. These lingering sparks are strange and unsettling, a subtle warning that the danger may not yet be over. The footage captures a motorcyclist in Cambridgeshire crashing into the rear of a car and bursting into flames immediately afterward. An electric vehicle malfunctioned on the highway and suddenly exploded with tremendous force. Flames erupted from the engine compartment, accompanied by thick black smoke rising high into the sky, forcing nearby vehicles to come to an abrupt stop. The explosion caused panic, with people fleeing the scene, turning the busy highway into a scene of chaos. Something suddenly exploded with immense force, shattering everything around it in an instant. The deafening blast tore through the air, sending debris flying in all directions and many feared fatalities as the explosion shook everything around. Cars burst into flames, the fire spreading rapidly, causing panic and sending people fleeing in chaos to escape the scene. A terrifying explosion lit up the sky like a giant fireball erupting out of nowhere, blasting everything in its path. The shockwave shook the ground, sending people fleeing in all directions. Screams echoed through the chaos as panic gripped the scene. It happened in mere seconds, but the horror it left behind will be remembered for a long time. A yacht on the sea erupted into a fierce blaze, with flames roaring and spreading rapidly, proving difficult to control. Thick, dense black smoke billowed high into the air, creating a chaotic and alarming. It appears this was an explosion caused by a severe accident. The deafening blast sent shockwaves through the neighborhood, triggering a wave of panic as people fled in terror. Thick white smoke billowed upward, forming a towering plume that pierced the sky, evidence that the explosion was anything but minor. Even from a distance, the scene resembled a battlefield erupting in the midst of the city.
No sé, pegó con las otras personas. Mi auto está ahí. Mi auto estaba ahí. Sí. Y todo lo de la bodega. Y mi computador. Y todo lo que trasladamos no se ve.
A small flame sparked a big explosion, but luckily, no damage occurred. A thunderous explosion erupted in an open field, like a moment of sheer destruction unleashed upon the earth. The powerful shockwave rippled through the ground, hurling dust and debris into the air. A massive and terrifying fire broke out, engulfing and destroying everything in its path. The flames erupted with intense fury, accompanied by thick, black smoke billowing high into the sky, blanketing the entire horizon. A massive explosion has just occurred, triggering a devastating blaze that has caused numerous casualties and sent shockwaves through the area. The fire spread rapidly, engulfing everything in a raging inferno. Towering plumes of thick black smoke are rising hundreds of meters into the air, choking the skies and drastically reducing visibility. Amid the chaos, firefighters are risking their lives, attacking the flames from multiple angles with high-powered water cannons. Sirens wail, screams echo, and the roar of fire fills the air, a harrowing scene reminiscent of a battlefield. suddenly struck two moving cars, with a blinding flash and a thunderous boom that left everyone in shock.
A vehicle suddenly exploded and burst into flames on the road. The fire spread rapidly and became difficult to control, forcing nearby vehicles to back away from the blaze. Fortunately, emergency crews arrived swiftly and managed to bring the fire under control.
The explosion appeared to be anticipated, with barricades set up and all residents evacuated safely away from the house.
A home security camera captured a massive explosion tearing everything apart.
What started as a seemingly ordinary car fire quickly turned into a terrifying disaster. At first, just a faint trail of smoke and a few small flames emerged from the engine bay. But within seconds, a rapid series of 5 to 6 violent explosions ripped through the vehicle, like fireworks detonating in the middle of the street. Each explosion sent shockwaves through the air, igniting massive fireballs that engulfed the entire car. Thick black smoke spiraled upward, blanketing the sky above. The force of the blast shattered the windows, sending shards flying in all directions. Bystanders screamed and ran in panic, trying to escape the danger zone. In moments, the car was nothing more than a charred, twisted metal frame. Police forces were dispatched to the scene, but the damage was already evident. The car had been completely incinerated, and the surrounding area was shrouded in a heavy atmosphere filled with thick smoke and the acrid stench of burning. Approaching the vehicle was impossible, as multiple items inside had continued to explode in succession, posing a serious danger. A stunning yet powerful scene captures nature's fury brewing in the skies over Guatemala. Against a dark, overcast sky, bolts of lightning tear through the clouds, crashing above the mountaintops like the drums of an approaching storm. Brilliant flashes of light briefly illuminate the distant peaks, casting eerie shadows in the night. The wind begins to howl through the trees, carrying with it a chill and the scent of rain. It feels like a warning. A mighty storm is on its way, slow but certain, and nothing will stand in its path. A massive house fire raged fiercely, with crackling explosions echoing from within the roaring flames. Firefighters were already on the scene, battling the blaze. Suddenly, the building erupted in a violent explosion, sending smoke and debris billowing across the area. Chaos followed, and significant damage is expected. Not just one, but 2 to 3 explosions occurred back-to-back at the same spot, plunging the area into chaos. Despite the danger, many bystanders remained, prompting police to step in and disperse the crowd for safety. The $24 million superyacht caught fire fiercely just weeks after being delivered to its owner. Flames engulfed the vessel as thick, black smoke billowed heavily into the sky, creating a chaotic and terrifying scene on the water. A terrifying explosion suddenly erupted, with fierce flames blazing and thick, choking black smoke billowing high into the sky. The deafening blast echoed throughout the area, sending people nearby into a state of panic as they scattered wildly in all directions, desperate to find safety. Unidentified individuals set fire to a cargo truck in the Landy area. The front of the vehicle is engulfed in intense flames and remains out of control, with thick black smoke billowing into the air. The damage is reported to be extensive, making the situation increasingly serious and chaotic. A sudden explosion roared like thunder, ripping through the air in an instant. A violent shockwave surged outward, blasting everything nearby into the air. Flames and thick smoke erupted fiercely, engulfing and blowing apart everything within the blast radius. The deafening blast echoed with a blinding flash of light, painting a scene of chaos and terror. The house was engulfed in flames, fiery tongues consuming its walls. Suddenly, a loud explosion shattered the air, blowing off the roof as fire and smoke swallowed the surrounding area. Police and firefighters fought desperately to contain the raging blaze, trying to prevent further devastation.
I fucking told them. Yeah. I fucking told you guys. Yeah. I yelled at them too, man.
The fire raged with terrifying intensity, crackling and roaring as it devoured everything in its path. The house was being swallowed whole by the flames, the sounds echoing with eerie violence. Thick black smoke billowed upward, covering the sky. The inferno continued to blaze uncontrollably, reducing everything to ashes. A patch of dry grass caught fire, with strong winds spreading the flames rapidly, threatening nearby areas if not contained in time. A sudden fire broke out in the middle of the street, engulfing several supermarket stalls in intense flames. Thick black smoke filled the air, making visibility difficult. Police and firefighters arrived quickly, but the blaze remained hard to control.
If those PDs are going to be in trouble as far as that real war goes, okay? Command to all units, I want everybody off the sidewalk on both the 1 and 4 side of the building. Operate from the curb. Everybody off the sidewalk.
A large fire broke out beside the road, right at the forest edge. Bright flames spread quickly through dry grass and trees, with thick black smoke billowing high. Strong winds fanned the fierce flames, creating a chaotic and dangerous scene that frightened.
Misty, scoot back!
Flames burst violently into the sky, followed by thick black smoke. Truly dangerous.
Misty, scoot back!
A massive fire suddenly erupted right in the middle of the street, with fierce, blazing flames rapidly consuming everything in their path with terrifying intensity. Thick, swirling black smoke billowed up, blanketing the sky and creating a chaotic and frightening scene. The people nearby stood frozen in shock, overwhelmed with fear and confusion, none daring to approach the raging fire for fear of harm. Today, following a traffic accident, A car caught fire fiercely, with thick black smoke obscuring visibility. Firefighters quickly arrived, promptly extinguishing the flames, and are now cleaning up the scene, dealing with the aftermath of the fire. The flames roared fiercely, engulfing the entire house in a blazing sea of fire, spreading rapidly and relentlessly as everything seemed to be consumed before our eyes. Firefighters rushed in, spraying powerful streams of water, desperately trying to contain the raging blaze. Despite their relentless efforts, the damage to the home has become severe, painting a tragic and haunting scene.
I don't know.